Okay, Lisa Darling here, and I'm here with Fernando Adame.
Fernando Adame.
With Flat Branch Mortgage.
Flat Branch Home Loans.
Home loans, okay, there we go. And I just wanted to get to know him a little bit. This is our first chance meeting, and I'd like to let the public know a little bit more about you and about Flat Branch. Why did you become a mortgage lender?
So that's a funny question. It's a little bit by mistake. I think like so many of us who get into either the mortgage business or the real estate business, we always have a friend who tries to get us to do it. So a really good friend of mine, Eliana Hurtado in Tulsa, did a mortgage for me when I became newly single after a terrible divorce in 2003. And I was buying my first home by myself.
Okay.
And she helped me through the process. I had actually worked with her at a place called TV Guide in Tulsa, this big call center there. And after a little bit of time after closing my deal, a few months later, she calls me. I was working for a trucking company, doing recruiting of all things. And she asked me to come and help her. She needed an assistant.
Nice.
And I said, I would never do that. And hung up the phone, and that was that for the next 2 months. She continued to harass me about it. So I finally gave in. I quit my job doing the trucking company job, and I decided to do mortgages as her assistant. Well, it only took about 3 months for me to kind of do the job and do it well, I think, for her, when I just decided that being a mortgage officer would be maybe a career path I wanted to take and not be her assistant anymore.
So that was when?
2005.
So here we are, fast forward 2018, almost 2019.
Yes.
And you've been doing it all this time.
All this time.
Why Flat Branch Mortgage?
Well, I've been in banking. When I moved to Arkansas in 2006, I started working for a local bank in Springdale, and I worked there for a long time. And then from there, I worked at 2 other banks, and so I've primarily known mortgages in the banking world. I was always hesitant to go to a mortgage company, only because banks just have, kind of a full service thing. And actually, that's one reason I decided to look at Flat Branches, because that's all they do is mortgage loans.
Nice.
So it really made sense to go to a company that was their only focus. And not only that, but Flat Branch is very technology oriented. And I feel like the wave of the future in mortgage lending and in real estate is technology and the ease of access to the technology by your customers. If they can access a loan application online or go on and look at a list of homes, they're going to do it online.
Sure.
Yeah, you're going to be there to answer questions, and they're going to rely on you for the things that are difficult. But of course, if they can do it, they're going to do it.
And one thing that I wanted to ask you is you're fluent in Spanish, right?
Claro que sí.
Sí, so puede ayudar las gentes que necesitan ayudar en español, ¿no?
Claro que sí, a los clientes bilingües que necesitan ayuda con el préstamo de su casa, les puedo ayudar.
So basically what I just said in Spanish was you can help people in Spanish as well, because we have a few clients in the area that have English is not their first language and they need help with Spanish.
Absolutely.
So tell us about an interesting situation that you might have come across, the most interesting situation as a mortgage lender that you've come across without identifying anybody.
Well, what's interesting about this business, and I think the reason I stayed in it, is because every loan does have its own unique set of circumstances that I think a lot of times keeps it fun and interesting. And I think for real estate, it's the same thing.
Same thing.
When you meet different people from different backgrounds, you're obviously going to build a rapport with them. And but the most interesting, let me think here. Gosh, it's tracking people down for signatures. I think is always fun. I think I drove all the way to Mena, Arkansas one time to get a signature from a buyer who had skipped town and didn't want to close the transaction because he had left.
Oh my goodness.
So trying to track this person down to get documents signed was kind of an adventure. I'm going to say that's probably the one of the wildest goose chases I was on.
Really?
But every loan is completely different, and every loan brings definitely an interesting aspect to what you're doing.
I think you probably like it for the same reason I like real estate. Everything's a new project. It's a different puzzle to put together and things like that.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you moved here from Tulsa, right?
Yes, Tulsa.
Okay, which town in Northwest Arkansas do you live in?
I live in actually Bella Vista now.
Okay.
But I've kind of been everywhere. So I started in Fayetteville. Then I moved to Bentonville. I'd never lived in Springdale, and then Bella Vista now.
Okay, so what is your favorite restaurant in all of Northwest Arkansas?
Well, so I have two. My favorite in Fayetteville is actually Tep Thai down in South Fayetteville. I'm crazy about all Asian food, but especially Thai. So Tep Thai is my favorite down here. So anytime I get a chance, I do that. In Bentonville, I'm going to say the Press Room,
Okay.
which is a completely different type of venue, but they've got a good variety.
Local owners, which
Absolutely.
is nice. That's good.
I try to frequent the places that are locally owned. It's what makes, I think, our area great.
That's what makes us Fayetteville funky.
Absolutely.